Welcome back to the Count's Gala. My name is Ken. I'm the author of the book, and the book is available for purchase on Amazon.com. So if you like what you see or you're interested in solving this yourself, go ahead and look it up. And I'll put a link in the description so you don't actually have to look it up. Just click on the link and it'll bring you right there to buy it. So today we're going through Cryptogram number 6. And let's see. In the last episode, we got some initial clues for some sellers, sellers of paintings, art sellers. Today we're gonna get some clues about the buyers. Actually, we're not gonna get any clues, but we're gonna get information on how to identify the buyers. So. Again, full transparency, I do kind of have an idea of what this puzzle is as we go forward, especially as they get a little more random. I'll be kind of approaching these from scratch and, well, not really from scratch, but I won't remember exactly what they are. So they'll be a little more difficult for me to solve. Although nobody has complained about the difficulty of any of these cryptograms, even the toughest one, which is number 13. But yeah, let's get into this. So, all right. In the past few episodes, we've been starting with the word "the" and looking for three-letter words that repeat a few times. And I thought I had identified one earlier. This SDG at the beginning. Does that appear more than once? I see some four-letter words that have that, and a five-letter word that has the SDG, and then at least one two-letter word with it. Let's start with that and see if that is the correct guess here. So I don't remember the wording exactly, so we could be going down the wrong path here. But initially I thought we were gonna be a little bit easier, so I was just filling in the bottom. I do this every time. I should just scroll down and show you. The bottom grid, and I recommend you keep track of that stuff. It makes these a little bit easier, in my opinion. So the other thing that I noticed was this two-letter word. It starts with a T, so that F should be an O. So let's fill in some of these here. S's. We're going to look for S's. For the T's. And I think this is probably a pretty good way to approach these. That was what threw me off. So I thought that this word, SPG, does that work? Yes, it does. There are a few words that would fit there. Maybe not a few, but there's one in particular that I remember, and I remember it now that I'm doing the puzzle, but I didn't remember it just a second ago when I was looking for words that were "the." So maybe we'll be a little bit tricky this time. S is going to be, so that was that same prefix, THE. Let's fill in some of these E's. So the G is going to be an E. I didn't do the last line, but we'll get back to that. G, a few more G's. SD, THE. I'm going to say that's probably a Y, they. So J will be an A. Still looking for G's. There's got to be some more G's in here. G. So far, these puzzles have been taking me probably a good 20 minutes to solve, even though I already know them. I did have been getting some feedback from a few people solving these, and one of my friends, she said that it took her about an hour to do 2.5 puzzles. So yeah, this book's going to take you a little while to complete. Um, but I don't. At least the cryptograms are not too difficult. They just take a little while because they are a few sentences. So just finding all the letters is takes a little bit. So uh, yeah, it's interesting. So I like to fill out the puzzles on this paper. Although in previous cryptogram books that I've done, I've actually written them in notebooks. And one of my friends, the same friend that gave me that feedback, she was doing hers on post-it notes, and I was like, well, that seems to be a little excessive. There's a lot more words that would fit on a regular sheet of paper, and so I don't know. You do it however you wish, but I would recommend just writing it right in the book, and that would be the easiest place to keep track of that. So, and it won't offend me if you mark up your book. So that's what these were printed for. So I want to see you using your books, and yeah. So G, the D's were an E. Let's see if we have any of those. I'm not seeing any jumping out at me right off the bat. D's. There's a E. I guess that Y may have been a premature guess. We'll see. But just based on this word here, we'll see. We'll come back to it and see. Gosh, that's a long word. Two long words, and I don't remember what those are. So let's see. Oh, the O's. Let's put some O's in. We've had a lot of luck with O's. F is going to be an O. Here's another O. O. It's funny which letters seem to unlock the puzzle for us. F. There's another F. Do we see any more F's? No. All right, what else do we have? Oh, that D is going to be an H. What other letters do we have? Oh, we did guess that Y. I don't want to... gosh, I'm not sure about that. Although there's only a few J's, but I don't know if that fits. Y. If this was a Y, I don't think that works. Does that work? A, E, I, O, or U. I don't think that's going to work for us. So I'm going to say that J is not a Y. T-H-E, N. Gosh, drawing a blank on that. I'm not drawing a blank on this word though. Is it too early to guess? Do we have? I'm gonna say we might be able to guess this word. So short. Be short. So S is going to be an O. X is going to be an R. Just filling in that bottom grid. So O, S, O's are going to be S's. O's are going to be S's. Show me the O's. O, O. All right, a few O's there. X's for R. And I just completely lost my train of thought there. X's are R's. Okay, here we go. X's are R's. R. R. Here we go. There's an R. And that's probably one that's going to get a solved word here, because I'm going to jump back to that in a second. R. So THE blank R there. That P is going to be an I. So I. P. Looking for other P's. This might be the thing that unlocks the puzzle for us here. P. Tie. That's that other three-letter word that starts with T and ends in E. S. I. So we're talking about a gala, and we talk about a tie, maybe a suit. So T is going to be a U. And we're going to come back to that in a second, because once I fill in some of these P's here, because I think we can use a little bit of logic here to figure out what the word before it is, even though I haven't filled anything out there. Let's see. So, yeah, let's come back. So, 5-letter word, we're talking about tie suits. What kind of suits would you be wearing to a gala? So, I would say a black tie suit. B-L-A-C-K. So let me fill in these letters in the grid below. Sorry you can't see that right now. I'm just going to do it to keep this moving along. That C is going to represent itself. And yet, just remember, I do allow for one letter to represent itself. And that is actually going to help us quite a bit. So we're going to look at the word before that. So that B is going to be an A. We don't have the M yet, but the I, T-I, the P is... Do we have a P yet? We should. There it is, an I. A, we don't have. The B is an A, and then the Y is an L. So traditional, N. So the A is an N, and the M is a D. So traditional black tie suits. And we should be able to fill in some of this A and D. And what would be paired, so the men are wearing black tie suits, the women would be wearing gowns, G-O-W-N-S. We had most of those letters, we didn't have the W. And did we have the G? No, we didn't have that either. So black tie suits and gowns. I'm just going to clear up this S so that I can read that. So that, I would say that that probably opened up a lot of this puzzle. So the short list of, we don't have that U, so fill that in at the bottom. B, U, and the J is going to be, we don't have that yet, buyers. So if you, we did look through the logic puzzle and we saw that buyers was one of the labels for the rows and columns. So short list of buyers, T is going to be RU, run in a, do we have the E, more, SU, yep, we have that. K, do we have K? Yes, we do. Subdued. Okay, here's one. Socialite circle. CIRCLE. Maybe that J was. That J may have been right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to come back to that. So they will be wearing more traditional black tie suits and gowns. Okay. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of vowels for this. I was like, gosh, why couldn't I come up with that word that ends in Y? So that Y was correct. The K is going to be a B, buy. All right, I jumped ahead. Okay, P is going to be, I don't remember the sentence at all. Okay, here we go. Identifying, FYING, identifying them. Okay, so that clears up the they and the them will be easier by Q. Where is my Q? I don't have a Q yet. B is A. J is a Y. Ooh. Paying attention. MT. If you weren't able to guess this word with the 5 letters, I think this one would have the attention would have given it away. Easier by paying attention to their, okay. Q. I thought, oh, we did have the Q. Okay. PHYSICA. Their physical characteristics. CHARAC. ISTICS. Their physical characteristics. Okay. So the short list of buyers run in a more subdued socialite circle. They will be wearing more traditional black tie suits and gowns. Identifying them will be easier by paying attention to their physical characteristics. So, yeah, when we go through this, if you see things like, I'll just give you 2 right off the bat, like a large nose, or if they're really tall, that's a physical characteristic as opposed to some of the outfits. So we identified the wings in the previous one, and there's also going to be a mermaid. So those are outfits to pay attention to, and the outfits will identify the sellers, and the physical characteristics will identify the buyers. So other things to pay attention to. So if somebody is looking for somebody in an outfit, that they would be looking for them because they are trying to buy rather than selling. So the sellers don't really care to interact with each other. The buyers don't really care about interacting with each other, but they do care about, so a buyer would want to interact with a seller, and a seller would want to interact with a buyer. So that's a good hint as you move forward. So if Joe, that's not one of the character names, but if he's looking for someone with a large nose, which is an actual characteristic in here, Joe is probably trying to sell the person with the large nose something. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this series. And if you haven't yet bought the book, go ahead and check the link in the description where you can buy it on Amazon. So thanks, everyone.